buying cakes from a nun, the perfect way to eat a cupcake, and a cookie empire. This week, it's all about desserts and sweets.
Traveling the world to bring you delicious dishes, tasty beverages, and interesting experiences. This is the Destination Eat Drink Podcast on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network.
I'm Brent Peterson. Welcome to Destination Eat Drink, the travel podcast for foodies. Destination Eat Drink is where we try the best food and drinks in the coolest places, right here on the Destination Eat Drink podcast and also at destinationeatdrink.com, as well as on the Destination Eat Drink YouTube channel. And with summer now here in full swing, I thought we'd indulge in some sweets and desserts from Seville, Spain, New Zealand, New Mexico, and Seattle. But first, if you like Destination Eat Drink, please consider a one-time or recurring contribution in any amount at buymeacoffee.com/destinationeatdrink. Thanks to Sean, Basement Brandon, Marco, and Raw Travel TV, who are all supporting the show, and you can too at buymeacoffee.com/destinationeatdrink, and thank you very, very much. Okay, I'm starving. My sweet tooth is crying, so let's eat.
Destination Eat Drink.
Darlie Newman is the award-winning host of the TV show Travels with Darlie. She tells me about the official state cookie of New Mexico.
It's called the Bisco Cheeto, but there are different names for it. It's one of those... It's a New Mexico cookie, and I was at the International Folk Art Market, which I visited on this trip, which is really cool. Artists from around the world descending on Santa Fe for this special fair. And I was walking around, and it wasn't on my itinerary or agenda, but I ran into the woman whose family has this little cookie empire. Her name's Selena, and they had this big sign up, and it was talking about try Selena's Bisco Cheetos. It's the official state cookie of New Mexico. And I thought, how did I not know about this? Mexico has an official state cookie. And
beautiful.
It has been, she said, since 1989, and they even passed a bill about it or something. So they rallied to get this cookie designated, and it was fantastic. I brought a bunch to bring back as gifts for people, but it has this it's made with anise seed, cinnamon, and brandy, and some other components, and you can make them in different ways, and then a lot of them are flavored with like chives or spicy things, and so you've jalapeno, you've got all these different types of Bisco Cheetos, but they're light, they're like, they look almost like a shortbread cookie potentially, and they're small. But the recipes go back to, I think she was saying like the 1600s, and came over from the Spaniards coming to New Mexico. And the recipes are usually handed down for these different types of Bisco Cheetos you can try from generation to generation. So her family has been making Bisco Cheetos for a while, and obviously they're very passionate about it because they got it designated as New Mexico state cookie. But right. She was telling me that in different parts of New Mexico, they call them different things. So they were calling them Bisco Cheetos, but there's a slightly different pronunciation maybe in southern New Mexico. And people always dispute the way to say it. So yeah, I was trying like different red chili, and there was even like a chocolate chip, a green chili, and they were fantastic. So look out for those when you're traveling to New Mexico. Unlike your Frito pie, it's actually really tasty.
Yes. So that sounds amazing. And it doesn't have anything to do with the snack food Cheetos.
I know, right?
When you said Bisco Cheetos, I'm like, wait a minute, there's Cheetos in this cookie? That sounds like the Frito-Lay company has a stranglehold on Santa Fe, but no, it's something totally different. And it sounds amazing with the different spices and stuff in it, the different herbs. Oh,
really tasty.
Now I gotta,
really good. I know.
Yeah.
Gosh, it makes me want to eat all of this stuff right now again. And now I don't have access to it because I've never seen them outside of New Mexico. I feel like they should get on Goldbelly or something and sell it around, because maybe they are. I have to check because those were really good.
Eunice Reyes is the energetic host of the Rated V YouTube channel. She talks about cupcakes and the best way to eat them. I don't know. Where do you want to start talking about dessert? Because there's so much to talk about. Should we talk?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Let's talk about cupcakes first, because I only recently came into understanding this method of eating cupcakes that you demonstrated, and I'd only heard about it a few weeks prior to that. So maybe there's other people who are listening now who aren't aware of this genius method of eating cupcakes. So before we talk about the cupcakes themselves, talk about how you eat a cupcake, Eunice.
Okay. For those that don't know, the perfect way to eat a cupcake is to cut the cupcake stump, if you will, in half. Yes. And then you take the bottom half and you sandwich it on top of the frosting, and then you press it all together. So you essentially eat the cupcake like a sandwich, but now you get frosting in every bite, and it's the perfect bite all the way around. And you don't have to get frosting on your nose or any of that. It's literally the best way ever.
I love this method, and I'm so happy that you demonstrated it, because like I said, I just stumbled upon this a few weeks ago, and then I saw you do it, and I'm like, oh, this is a thing. This isn't just a couple of people. Yes. I mean, this is so this needs to take over the world, I think, this method of eating cupcakes. What's your favorite cupcake place in Seattle?
Cupcake Royale. For sure, because they have the best vegan chocolate cupcake. I think that's the only vegan option they have. They are very popular in Seattle amongst locals who are non-vegan, but they do have that vegan cupcake all the time, and it's just it's like a just a delightful chocolate cake, but mini size. Everything about it is just delicious. I think I remember a long time ago, but because I remember I told you I was still like vegetarian. I remember I compared the vegan one to the non-vegan one, and I was like, the vegan one just tastes so much better. Like, it honestly does.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. It's delicious. But something I want to say is, like, Seattle is, I think, one of the best places for vegan dessert, in my opinion, compared to Portland and Vancouver, Canada, like if it's in the Northwest. Only because, like, you can find so much even in just one neighborhood. So the Capitol Hill neighborhood of Seattle is where you want to do your vegan dessert crawl, because you have vegan ice cream, you have vegan cinnamon rolls, vegan cupcakes. What else do you have? You have vegan donuts. 2 types of places. There's just so much there. You can do vegan cookies, you can do vegan churros, you could do everything. Actually, no. Yeah, you can do vegan churros, I think. Correct. No, don't quote me on that. I've checked again. But yeah, there's just so much you can do within that, like within walking distance. You can walk to all these places. And that's what it was. Hotcakes. Oh my gosh. Let me just tell you the one dessert that everybody mandatory has to try when they go to Seattle. So there's a cafe called Hotcakes in Seattle. They have 2 locations. One is in the Ballard neighborhood, which is the original one. And then the newer one is in Capitol Hill. And that one's bigger and even has like a little fire pit for people to hang out. Something to know about this place is that it tends to get really, really busy at night. So I think people like to go there after dinner or just hang out at like a late night spot. It's kind of always busy, but that's like when it's the most busy. So just FYI, parking might be a struggle. But essentially what it is like a molten chocolate lava cake. And again, they only have one vegan option, but it's already 1,000% worth it. And they serve it to you with vegan ice cream and everything. So when they serve it to you, you break the chocolate cake, because it comes in a little cup, right? You kind of tap the top with your spoon, and then once you start tapping it, you'll start seeing all this chocolate ooze out from the top. And it's like hot and warm and delicious. And then you get a little scoop of ice cream, and then you dip it in the melty, ooey gooey chocolate cake, and it's just divine. If I'm not making your mouth water right now, I don't know what's wrong with you.
That is just decadent, man. That sounds so good. So you said it gets busy at night. Does that mean that they have cocktails and stuff there?
They do. So you can even get you can get drinks. They even have a vegan grilled cheese, so you can get savory option too. They make boozy milkshakes, so you can get a boozy vegan milkshake. So yeah, it's a pretty cool spot.
See, I would want a glass of red wine with my vegan molten chocolate cake, I think. That would really put it over the top, I think.
Right?
But You also mentioned donuts. So let's talk about a couple of the donut places in Seattle. What places do you like to go to?
Yes. So the one place I would say is my favorite is Doughjoy. Doughjoy is pretty new. They opened, I believe, in 2021. Or 2020, I think, actually, when they started their truck, and now they've expanded. Now they have two locations. One is in West Seattle, which is a really cute neighborhood, more suburban, by the beach, by Alki Beach. And then there's one in Capitol Hill again, because again, Capitol Hill has everything. And they are the first yeast-raised vegan donuts. So if you're all about that fluffy, yummy, sweet donut, they got you covered. They have some of the best fritters ever, like literally some of the best. And then, but if you like, cake style donuts, you can go to Mighty O's, because Mighty O's has got you covered for the cake style donuts. They actually don't advertise that they're vegan at all. Like, you won't see it anywhere on their, any of their marketing materials or anything, but none of their donuts have dairy or egg. So they're all naturally vegan. I think they do that because they want to market to like the general public, obviously. And so, but they also have a lot of creative flavors, and they are delicious as well.
So someday I'll tell you the story about my first job when I was 15 years old. I worked at a Dunkin' Donuts, and one day I set the kitchen on fire by accident. So
oh no,
nobody was hurt.
Yeah, that's all building, important.
The building remained standing and no one was hurt, but
yes.
Yeah, the cleanup took a while.
Oh no, I can imagine.
Yeah, that's what you get for putting a 15-year-old in charge of the fryer. You know,
right?
Not a good idea. Pilar Rubio is a terrific food tour guide in Seville, Spain. She tells me about the cakes you can buy from cloistered nuns. One thing that we didn't get to do when we were in Seville, and here's another reason why we have to come back to Seville, Pilar, is we didn't get to try any of the little desserts and sweets made by the nuns in the city. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
This is a wonderful thing that you can do in Seville that not a lot of people knows, but in every nunnery, in every convent, normally the nuns, they make sweets and cakes. And it's a beautiful experience because many of them are cloistered, so you cannot see the nuns. And you think, well, then how are they selling the sweet? Well, they have this wheel, this lazy Susan. So you hear the nuns. You say, there is like a ritual greeting. You say, Ave Maria Purísima, and they answer, Sin pecado concebida. This is about the Virgin Mary and being immaculate. And then you start your conversation. You order the sweets that you want. Normally they have a list close to the wheel with the price, and you put the money, and they turn the wheel, and then you get your sweets. It's like it's the same experience that someone could have in the 17th century. Still happening. It's still happening. And these sweets are super high quality. They are handmade by these nuns. You read the labels, and it's maybe 3 or 4 ingredients, like egg yolk, sugar, orange and almond. And that's it. There's no artificial preserves. So, or they are natural. They are super traditional. And many of these recipes are very old, and many of them are very typical from the Moorish, from the Al-Andalus, and also the Jewish tradition. Because in Spain, well, in all Europe, we have these issues with religion. And one way to prove that you were truly a Christian family was sending your daughters to the convent. And they are going to bring the family recipe. And they are still, we appreciate a lot. It's a beautiful thing to bring to a home when you are invited to a dinner, for example.
That's a great idea. So if you get an invite, make sure you bring the sweets made by nuns. You know, Pilar, here in Portugal, we have a very old tradition as well of them making these pastels, different sweets, different pastries at the conventos. But the difference is that most of the convents and monasteries were closed down at the end of the 19th century. So a lot of these recipes then migrated to bakeries in different parts of Portugal. So you can still get these original convent treats made with the original recipes. You just can't get them at the convent for the most part, because those convents were closed down. And then, when the nuns died out, that was it. But the recipes were preserved. So you can still get them here in Portugal, just not in that same characteristic way that you just beautifully described in Spain.
We don't know how long it's going to last this, because, there is less and less and less religious people in a convent. So we don't know how long this is going to last. There is now in the few convents that are still active. I'm saying few because we had 100 centuries ago. There's maybe eight nuns, or maybe 10, and they are very old. Yeah. So you should do it, as because still you can do it.
Get to Seville as soon as possible is the moral of that story. Mandy and Lee, the Frugal Travelers, host the popular YouTube channel of the same name, and they take viewers around the world on a budget of $25 a day. We talk about ice cream and chocolate in New Zealand.
We haven't got into ice cream yet, have we? That's another level of the New Zealand ice cream. It's just, incredible. Boysenberry is my favourite flavour from New Zealand, I think.
Yes.
Do you get that anywhere else? I'm not quite sure.
I don't know. Boysenberries are similar to mulberries, but they're different. They're not on a tree. They're on a bush or a vine. I don't know what you call it. But I haven't seen boysenberries in many countries. But for me, it's Whittaker's chocolate. It's so lovely. Did you try Whittaker's chocolate?
I love Whittaker's chocolate.
Fantastic.
Here's one of the things that I, you guys know that I always say first thing to do when you get to a new city is take the food tour. But another thing that I love to do, and I should talk about this more in the podcast, but one of the things that I really recommend folks do is not only go to the fresh produce market, but also go to the local grocery store, especially if you're in a country where you haven't been before. And this is also when we were in Devonport, there was a grocery store, and it's a chain in New Zealand, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head now. But we went in, and I saw all of this Whittaker's chocolate in the grocery store, and I thought, oh, this will be fun. I'll pick up a couple of these bars. I was really, really impressed with the quality of Whittaker's chocolate. I really liked it. For a mass-produced, chocolate, I thought it was one of the finest ones that I've ever had, really. I mean,
so wonderful.
So far above, that mass-produced stuff that you get in the United States and maybe in England as well.
Yes. Well, I think it's a family-owned business. It's been going since 1896. Family-owned. It's 4 generations now have worked with the company, and it's fair trade cacao, and it's. I don't know. It's just it's so amazing.
Content higher than some of the other brands.
Oh, exactly. Yes, the milk chocolate. The cocoa content is 33%. Whereas I think Cadbury's is 26%. So it's incredibly rich, and they've got so many different flavors at the moment.
Yes,
they've got Blondie, which is white chocolate, and biscuit, and for Christmas they had like gingerbread milk chocolate. And
Mandy's going to be busy over the next few weeks working through all the new ones.
My mum, Ma, bless her heart, she's been stockpiling chocolate for me, since we left in 2019. Because we've been trying to come back. We were going to come back a year and a half later, or 2 years later, but of course we couldn't do that. So I've got all this chocolate. Some of it might be a little bit old, but I don't care. And so
they bring out limited edition flavors and things, don't they? So stuff that isn't available now. But
it's just so exciting. So I've got all these Whittakers to go through, and I'm just so happy, so happy, because I used to love Cadbury's when it was made in New Zealand, but then they closed the Dunedin factory and it went to Australia. And the milk is so different, because I could always tell the difference before anyway. I think Kiwi milk is it's richer, maybe. I'm really not. We have a lot more rain. You know what I mean? So the grass might be richer or something. Volcanic soil, yes, exactly. And so the same with Whittaker's. It's just marvelous. We saw Whittaker's in a supermarket in Abu Dhabi. In Carrefour, and I was like, oh my word. I was so excited to see this big Whittaker's stand. Didn't buy any, of course, because I think it was a little bit dearer, and I knew that my mother had saved loads for me, so I was waiting till I got home.
Wait till you get home,
Yeah, but how wonderful.
We kind of glanced over ice cream, and I wanted to bring up ice cream because when we visited New Zealand in 2019, I remember an ice cream flavor that I had there. First of all, I love the ice cream in New Zealand. The like you said, Mandy, the dairy in New Zealand is so good and rich, and that translates into the ice cream. And there was a flavor of ice cream that I only saw in New Zealand, and I think it was called honeycomb. Is that correct? Is there a?
It's called Hokey Pokey.
Hokey Pokey, and yeah, and it was described to me as having honeycomb in it, and as an American, I thought honeycomb they meant the actual honeycombs from a beehive. Because that's what we call honeycomb. And I've eaten honeycomb before. I have friends who are beekeepers and, munched on the little honeycomb. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm going to get a honeycomb in the... That's not what honeycomb is when you're in New Zealand, right? So explain what Hokey Pokey is and what the honeycomb actually is.
You've actually caught me out there. I'm trying to figure out a way to describe it. It's like... What do you call it? It's made with...
toffee, like a toffee.
It's toffee,
but it's,
sweet,
I think it's got bicarb soda in it.
Yeah.
Or something to make it light and airy and fluffy. So when you make it, it's quite easy to make it at home. I think it's sugar and water and a couple of other things, bicarb, and it really puffs up and then it comes down and it
looks like honeycomb, doesn't it? And it has the same golden...
texture, and it's very airy, like aerated.
Yeah, and that must be why they call it honeycomb, because it has those little air pockets in it, and it's kind of a golden color as well.
Yes. Yeah, so Hokey Pokey, I think, is like New Zealand's like national ice cream, or they're so proud of it. I'm not a fan. I hate to say that. Like, I'm not a typical Kiwi in so many ways. I don't like rugby. I don't like cricket. Like, sorry, my fellow Kiwis. And I don't like Hokey Pokey.
Yeah.
But and are you a fan, Lee, of Hokey Pokey?
No, Rocky Road, man, more me,
It's Australian, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah. Flying the wrong flag there. Whoops.
But you do love your boysenberry.
Yeah.
And Lee likes things like Goody Goody Gumdrops, that virulent, bright blue.
Yeah, if it's a bizarre colour, count me in, definitely. You just know.
Okay. Long-time listeners of the podcast will know that I am a proclaimed ice cream snob, and really happy to have some ice cream talk with Mandy and Lee from Frugal Travelers. We're going to have them on the show again soon, I hope. Of course, right now they're traveling around the world, as they always are, and they're in places that don't have great internet connectivity, but they promise me when they get to a spot with good Wi-Fi, they'll ring me up for another episode with them. So looking forward to that. You can follow all my guests with links in the show notes, and thanks to Mandy and Lee and Pilar and Eunice and Darley for being on this week's show. Next week, award-winning food journalist Monica Eng is on the show to talk about cicadas. This is the year of Cicada Palooza, and she talks about eating the noisy insects. Better her than me. Definitely don't want to miss that. It was a super fun conversation. And until then, you can get over to destinationeatdrink.com. I just posted a story about a bar that's so far under the radar, it's not even on Google Maps. You can read that at destinationeatdrink.com/blog. There's also a new video. I recently visited the Rioja region of Spain and made a video about the gastronomy of the city of Aro. If you're planning a trip to Spain, you got to see this. Or even if you're not, it's a delicious video. You just go to YouTube at Destination Eat Drink 946 or click on the video tab at destinationeatdrink.com. And if you like the show, please share it with your friends. That always helps. And if you want to support Destination Eat Drink even more, you can give a one-time or recurring contribution in any amount at buymeacoffee.com/destinationeatdrink, or just click on the link in the show notes, and thank you very much. Destination Eat Drink is distributed by the Radio Misfits Podcast Network and Ed Silla. Thanks, Ed. I'm Brent Peterson. I'll see you down the road.
Join us next week for another culinary adventure on Destination Eat Drink, a presentation of the Radio Misfits Podcast Network.